Yes, Jon Snow goes around in today's 5 million Australian Caulfield Cup, and of course he does represent the stable of Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman in Melbourne at the moment as Andrew Forsman. Let's head across the Tasman and say good morning to you, Andrew.
Good morning, Aidan.
Tell us, how's Jon Snow in his preparation for this race?
Very happy with him. Obviously, we've given him one less run in the lead up to the Caulfield Cup this year. Just sort of spaced his races a little bit and kept him away from Caulfield as much as we can. He's not a big fan of that tight bend, struggles to get around it, so obviously you can't dictate where the Caulfield Cup's run. So, but he's had a very good preparation. We're here today and he's a chance. Wide draw won't make it easy.
Last year he went into the Caulfield Cup with a third placing in the Caulfield Stakes. This year he's gone on with the 7th placing in the Turnbull. Can you sort of compare his lead-up performances this year?
Well, I think the first two were very good, obviously over 14 and a mile at weight for age. You know, to be as close as he was to some pretty quick horses means that he's going well, and I think we just have to be a little bit forgiving of his last start in the Turnbull. It was a bit of a sprint home, and he just got left flat-footed a bit. While it looked a bit ordinary at first sight, I suppose, when you sort of break the race down, it was a sprint home. He came home as quickly as he can, just didn't have that turn of foot that the others do, but I think in a more solidly run 2,400 metre race will be more his go.
Just tell us a little bit about the connections. We've sort of seen Bart at the races a few times, but just tell us who's involved and how they came about being owners of your stable.
Yeah, it's a bit of a family affair, really. Bart approached me on sort of behalf of the Zame family, or the immediate family anyway, and it's been quite a ride. They've been great to deal with. I mean, it's effectively their first thoroughbred or first galloper they've been involved in, and to get someone like Jon Snow has been a bit of a thrill for them, obviously. So no, they've had some great moments, and while he's only won one race, I think basically in the last year, it's been sort of slim pickings in that regard. He's still competed very creditably at the highest level in both Australia and New Zealand, and they've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, not a bad introduction into racing, is it? Have you been able to twist their arm and get them to other horses, Andrew?
Yeah, they've got another one, a Pins filly. She's slow maturing, just had a bit of a setback, but look, she could be a nice filly or mare in time. But look, I guess I have said to them, it probably doesn't get a lot better than what you've sort of struck first time around. So make the most of what you've got, and while he's racing well.
What does he have to do today, Jon Snow, in order to press on towards the Melbourne Cup, Andrew?
Look, I guess it'll be dictated too by the feedback from Damien, what we think, how he pulls up. There's a whole lot of factors that'll be involved. I guess it's such an even race. You have to be a little bit forgiving. Like he could finish 12th today and you'd still be happy with the run. It's that good a field and there's that many good horses in it. I think that's sort of reflective of where he sits in the market. So really we don't have a line in the sand as to what we think, or it'll just be really how he performs, the feedback we get from the jockey and how he pulls up through the next couple of days. But yeah, a decision we'll have to make obviously over the course of the next few days, but just hoping he'll go a good honest race today.
Yeah, encouraging by what you're saying anyhow, Andrew. Earlier in the day, Rubera, can we just get a quick word on her and how she's going ahead of the Ethereal? Yeah,
she's going really well. Obviously she was unlucky in the Edward Manifold last start at the mile. Sort of that first race, we thought that she might step up and be competitive. She didn't get much of a crack at them. There were a few unlucky horses in that race, to be fair. It's a bit of a sprint home, and she stuck to her guns well without much luck. So up to the 2,000 metres is perfect. Just the barrier 14 or 12, I think she comes into, of 16 starters is not ideal. But got the best jockey on top to figure that out, and we brought her over here basically to try and compete in an Oaks, so today's probably the first race she needs to really put her hand up and say that she's going to be there Cup week.
Okay, Andrew, just a quick word on New Zealand runners. Obviously Love Affair in the Sway next. You've got Highland and Maygrove. Who's the horse you're looking forward to most this side of the Tasman?
Probably Love Affair. I think she'll be a big improver for that first up run. Back to the 1200, probably the little niggling doubt there. There's a couple of sharp ones, obviously. Volpe, Veloce and Julius will be hard to beat, but she comes into a nice enough draw now that the field's been depleted a little bit, and if there's enough tempo on and she gets a good track into it, sort of 5th or 6th one off, and yeah, like I said, if there's a good steady tempo, she'll be rattling home late, and she's unbeaten at the 1200, and I expect her to be very competitive.
Andrew Forsman joining us from Caulfield. Thanks for Andrew, for joining us here on the Punters Lounge Live, and best of luck with your runners.